in the field of marine geology, who's teaching in the University of King Abdulaziz in Jeddah. He was asked to give his comments on a verse of the Holy Quran from Surah Nur, chapter 24, verse number 40, which says that the state of the unbeliever is like the depths of darkness in a vast, deep ocean, overwhelmed with waves topped with dark clouds. The depths of darkness, one layered over the other. When a man stretches out his hand, he can hardly see it. Allah gives light to who he wishes. If he does not give light, you cannot see. Professor Durga Rao, he said that this verse of the Holy Quran is not speaking about a normal sea. It's speaking about a deep sea. And today, only with the help of things like submarine, we have come to know the depths of the ocean is dark. Previously, we did not know that, because a man cannot go unaided more than 20 to 30 meters underwater. And if he goes more than 200 meters unaided, he dies. It's today we have come to know, by the instruments that we have, that the depths of ocean is dark. And he said this darkness is due to two phenomena. First is due to successive absorption of the color in layers. As we all know, the light has got 7 colors, and we learned in school, for remembering easy, Vibgyor, the colors of the rainbow, Vibgyor. V for violet, I for indigo, B for blue, G for green, Y for yellow, O for orange, red, R for red. Vibgyor, 7 colors. Professor Durga Rao said that when the light enters the ocean, by the first 15 to 20 meters, the red color is absorbed. And if a man goes underwater about 30 meters deep, and if he bleeds, if he has a wound, he will not be able to see his own blood, because red color does not reach there. Later on, 30 to 50 meter absorbs orange. Yellow is absorbed by next 50 to 100 meters. Green by 100 to 200 meters. And blue beyond 200 meters. And violet and indigo much above 200 meters. Therefore, the layers of darkness you see in the ocean is due to the absorption of light in successive layers. And when a man stretches out his hand, he can hardly see it. Only if Allah gives light can they see. Even the fish that swim in the deep part of the ocean, they cannot see unless they have their own light with them. They have their own light with them. Even the submarine that goes underwater, it carries its own light, otherwise they cannot see underwater. So when Prophet Durga Rao was asked, how come this is mentioned in the Quran 14 years ago? He said, it's impossible for any human being to mention this verse. This Quran has to be a divine revelation. The Holy Quran says in Surah Qiyamah, chapter 75, verse number 3 and 4. The unbelievers ask that how will Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala be able to reassemble our bones? Allah says, we can not only reassemble the bones, we can even reconstruct in perfect order the very fingertips. When the unbelievers say, after we are buried, after our bones have got disintegrated, how will Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala on the day of judgment reassemble our bones? So Allah says, He will not only be able to reassemble the bones, He can even reconstruct your very fingertip in perfect order. It's referring to the fingerprinting method, which was discovered by Sir Francis Gould in 1880. And he said that no two fingerprints of two individuals are equal even in a million people. No wonder the police, the CID, the CIA, the FBI, they use fingerprinting method to identify the culprit. Quran speaks about that 14 years ago. Allah can not only reassemble the bones, He can even reconstruct in perfect order the very fingertips. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is asking you in Surah Nisa, chapter 4, verse 82, أَفَلَا يَدَبَّرُونَ الْقُرْآنَ وَلَوْ كَانَ مِنْ عِنْدِ غَيْرِ اللَّهِ لَوَجَدُوا فِيهِ اخْتِلَافًا كَثِيرًا. Do not you consider the Quran with care. Do not you ponder over the Quran with care. That if it had been from anyone besides Allah, there would have been many contradictions. There would have been many discrepancies. Quran is giving you a challenge. Here is the Holy Quran. Try and take out a single discrepancy. Try and take out a single fault in the Holy Quran. It's giving you a challenge, an open challenge. Why don't you analyze the Quran with care? Had it been from anyone besides Allah, there would have been many contradictions. I would like to end my talk by giving the example of Prophet Zakir Naik. Previously, the doctors, they thought that only the brain was responsible for feeling of pain. It's now we have come to know that there are certain receptors in the skin called as pain receptors, which are also responsible for feeling of pain. No wonder, when a patient of burn injury comes to a doctor, he takes a pin and he pricks it in that area. If the patient feels pain, doctor is very happy. It means it's a superficial burn. The pain receptors are intact. If he does not feel pain, it's a deep burn. The pain receptors have been destroyed. The Quran says in Surah Nisa chapter 4 verse number 56, as to those who reject our signs, we shall cast them into the hellfire. And as often as their skins are roasted, we shall give them fresh skins so that they shall feel the pain. Quran says if your skin is roasted, we shall give you fresh skin so that you will feel the pain. Giving an indication there is something in the skin which is responsible for the feeling of pain. Indication to the pain receptors. When Professor Zakir Naik, who is the head of the Department of Anatomy in Chiang Mai University in Thailand, he was given the translation of this verse, and he has spent a lot of time in doing research on pain receptors. He said it's impossible that Quran can mention this. We discovered it recently. How is it possible? He did not agree with it. Later on, after checking with the Holy Quran, after verifying the Holy Quran, he was so impressed that in the 8th Medical Saudi Conference in Riyadh, in the conference, he said the Shahada, La ilaha illallah, Muhammadur Rasulullah. There is no God but Allah, and Prophet Muhammad is the messenger of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Wa akhiru da'wana alhamdulillahi rabbil alameen.